The Pittsburgh Steelers might be preparing for a major decision regarding their offensive star, George Pickens. With his rookie contract entering its final year, the franchise faces a dilemma: offer him a lucrative extension or risk losing one of their most explosive receivers. General Manager Omar Khan has made it clear that both sides want to continue together, but negotiations could be complicated. Will the Steelers reach a deal with Pickens before the next season begins? Here's everything we know so far. Before diving into Pickens' potential extension, it's important to analyze how his performance has impacted the Steelers' offense. Since arriving in 2022, he has proven to be a key piece, racking up 801 yards and 4 touchdowns in his first year. In 2023, his impact grew even further, reaching 1,140 yards and 5 touchdowns despite the limitations of the offensive scheme. With these numbers, Pickens has become a top priority for Pittsburgh, making his contract renewal an urgent matter. The problem for the Steelers isn't just Pickens' talent, but also his behavior off the field. Throughout his career, he has accumulated multiple fines and been involved in incidents within the team, such as showing up late for the Week 17 game against the Kansas City Chiefs. These issues could make Pittsburgh hesitant to offer him a multi-million-dollar contract with a lot of guaranteed money. Still, Pickens' talent is undeniable, and replacing him would be a difficult task for the franchise. Now it's your turn, Steelers fans. Do you think the team should commit to Pickens with a long-term extension, or should they explore other options in the market? Does his talent outweigh his behavioral concerns? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments. With that said, let's get to the most important part: the Steelers' official stance on George Pickens' contract situation and the possible scenarios that could unfold in the coming months. During the NFL Combine, Omar Khan made it clear that the Steelers and Pickens have a mutual interest in staying together. We've had positive conversations with him, and we know he wants to be great and do it in Pittsburgh, Khan stated. However, he also emphasized that they are not discussing contract extension details at this time. This leaves the door open for negotiations to take time, and Pickens could even apply pressure with a possible holdout if he doesn't receive an offer he deems fair. If the Steelers decide to extend Pickens, they could secure their offensive future with a young and dynamic receiver. However, if negotiations become complicated, uncertainty could arise within the team. Additionally, a possible trade is also on the table, though losing Pickens would leave a difficult gap to fill in the offense. The Steelers have a big challenge ahead, and their decision could significantly impact the upcoming season. One key factor in this negotiation is the wide receiver market in the NFL. In recent years, we've seen massive contracts for players like Justin Jefferson, Ja'Marr Chase, and CeeDee Lamb. Pickens could seek a similar deal, which would require a major financial commitment from the Steelers. The franchise must decide whether they are willing to invest a significant portion of their salary cap in securing Pickens for several more years. Another aspect to consider is the team's offensive direction. With Arthur Smith as the new offensive coordinator, the strategy could change, affecting Pickens' role in the scheme. If the Steelers choose to focus more on the running game or a more balanced attack, it could influence how they value Pickens in their long-term plans. The Steelers could also opt to use the franchise tag in 2025 if they fail to reach a deal. This would give them more time to negotiate without the immediate risk of losing him in free agency. However, this move could create tension with the player, who might not be happy playing on a one-year contract without long-term guarantees. We want to know your opinion. Should the Steelers offer Pickens a massive contract or explore other options? Does his talent outweigh his off-field issues? Drop your answers in the comments, and let's discuss. George Pickens' future in Pittsburgh remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: this will be one of the biggest stories to follow in the coming months. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on the Steelers and the NFL. See you in the next video. Recently, the Pittsburgh Steelers have revealed a crucial plan for the future of the franchise: the quarterback position. With the 2024 season already in the rearview mirror and a free agent market full of options, the Steelers find themselves at a critical crossroads that could define the team's direction for the upcoming years. In a situation where two of their most important quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, are about to hit free agency, General Manager Omar Khan faces one of the toughest decisions of his tenure. Today, we bring you all the details about how Pittsburgh plans to fill the quarterback vacancy and how this decision will impact not only the offense but the entire Steelers roster for next season. Before diving deep into the details of the quarterback decision, it's important to understand that the quarterback situation is not the Steelers' only concern. In fact, this dilemma is occurring within a broader context, where the team's structure and decisions on key player contracts have raised uncertainty about how Pittsburgh will prepare for the 2024 season. The team, known for its focus on defensive strength and developing young talent, is also seeing a market full of key players whose futures are uncertain. Throughout the season, Pittsburgh has been handling a unique situation: 3 quarterbacks with expiring contracts. This has put Khan in a difficult position, as he not only has to decide who will take the starting role on offense, but also how these moves will influence future signings, especially regarding receivers and other key roster pieces. This context makes the quarterback decision even more important because it will not only affect the offensive dynamic, but also the team's strategic direction. In fact, many of the Steelers' future decisions, including those related to player signings and the overall team-building strategy, will depend on how this situation unfolds. Omar Khan, the Steelers' general manager, has made it clear that the team's priority is to retain one of the current quarterbacks. However, this process is not without complications. According to Khan, both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are scheduled to become free agents at the end of the season, which means both parties will have the opportunity to negotiate with other teams if no agreement is reached before the market opens. The uncertainty surrounding the situation is such that the team is evaluating all options, not taking for granted that either quarterback will remain in Pittsburgh. During his statements at the NFL Combine, Khan acknowledged that the team would prefer one of the current quarterbacks to stay. This addresses one of the big uncertainties: who will lead the offense in 2024? While the general consensus is that the Steelers lean more toward keeping Justin Fields, as he had a consistent performance last season, the door for a potential return of Russell Wilson is not entirely closed. Khan made it clear that both options will continue to be evaluated until contracts are signed, leaving open the possibility that Pittsburgh could bring one of them back. A key part of this process is that the Steelers are operating under the assumption that if the quarterback situation isn't resolved by March 12th, the start of the new league year, they may be forced to change the direction of their roster. This could influence decisions for other positions, including receiver signings, or even bringing in a veteran like Matthew Stafford if negotiations with Wilson or Fields stall. What is clear is that Pittsburgh wants the situation resolved before the new league year, as the quarterback choice will directly impact the team's offseason moves. This not only influences player decisions, but also how the roster will be structured overall. Now that we have a clearer picture of the situation in Pittsburgh, we want to know what you think. With the Steelers facing such an important decision, who do you think they should retain? Justin Fields, who showed his ability during last season, or Russell Wilson, who has the experience to lead? Or maybe you think they should look at other quarterbacks available on the market. Let us know your opinion in the comments. We want to hear what you think about this situation, which will undoubtedly shape the future of the Steelers for the next few years. But now, the most important part: how will this decision impact the Steelers in the near future? Let's discuss the implications and what's truly at stake with this choice. The quarterback situation is just one part of a much bigger puzzle, and the decisions made in the coming weeks could have a direct impact on expectations for the upcoming season. The Steelers are at a crucial crossroads. General Manager Omar Khan has stated that the decision to retain one of the quarterbacks will be made before March 12th, as it will influence the franchise's overall strategy. If the Steelers manage to retain one of their current quarterbacks, like Fields, it would establish continuity in the offense and provide stability for the 2024 season. However, if negotiations fall through, Pittsburgh could be forced to explore alternatives outside the team, which would lead the franchise to consider other available options on the market. One of the most prominent options, if they don't retain Fields or Wilson, would be to negotiate with a veteran like Matthew Stafford. If the Steelers close a deal with Stafford, it would dramatically change the course of the offense, but it could also create uncertainty within the team due to the style change that a new quarterback would bring. The implications of this decision are significant, not only because it affects the quarterback position, but also because it influences how the roster will be configured overall. If the Steelers opt for a veteran quarterback, they might be limited in their ability to reinforce other areas of the team, like receiver or offensive line, which could make the 2024 season one of transition rather than contention. The impact of this decision isn't limited to the quarterback position alone. If the Steelers fail to retain Wilson or Fields, the team could find itself in an uncomfortable situation with few quality options in the free agent market or via trade. This would greatly affect the offensive chemistry and could have long-term consequences. Moreover, the uncertainty surrounding this position could create an unstable environment within the locker room, as players will depend on who leads the team from the line of scrimmage. Likewise, the choice of quarterback will affect decisions regarding the hiring of other key players, such as receivers or offensive linemen, who need to be in sync with the quarterback's playing style. If a veteran like Stafford is chosen, expectations for the season would change, but it could also create a domino effect on other positions. It's a tough decision, but a crucial one, and time will tell if Pittsburgh takes the right path. In your opinion, should the Steelers focus on retaining one of their current quarterbacks, or look for a veteran option like Matthew Stafford? How do you think this decision will affect the 2024 season? Will it be a good move for Pittsburgh, or should they have taken another route? Leave your opinion down below and join the conversation.